Hello everyone! Before I say anything else, I'd like to preface this video by saying that I did this all without buying the colorful passes, which I think is at least somewhat of an achievement. Also, please ignore the mid-gameplay in the background. Tiering this event destroyed my skills in this game for some reason. I'm not really sure. I'll just need some time to regain my skills. I really don't know why it's like that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this run for real. So, I had been wanting to tier this event for about a year. I mean, I honestly just wanted an excuse to tier something, since it's just the way of a Project Sekai player. Well, some, but I wanted to be included in that. I love the cards, the story, the music, the Rui Casa, and just everything about Rui5, honestly, so I needed to tier it. Yes, this was the first event I ever tiered. Keep that in mind. I tried pulling the cards right away, of course, and my luck was good at first. I got the Enna from my first 10 pull, then Rui from my second, then Rui again a couple pulls later. By 200 pulls, I'd pulled a few more Ruis, and that was it. This was stupid on my end, but I decided to spark Tsukasa when I got to 200 pulls and call it a day. For now. And so I set off with my team of Rui, Tsukasa, Enna, Len, and Kaito. Except the event actually started in a few hours, so I went off to go play Persona 5 for a bit. If I'm gonna be honest, this whole run almost didn't happen because at the time, I'd been trying to get through Persona 5, and I saw tiering as a minor inconvenience to me, not knowing much about it at all. Oh, how naive I was. About 20 minutes before the event, I paused my game and reached out to my buddy Highflow. To be honest, I didn't even know that tiering was starting at 6 p.m. I just vaguely remembered that it might. I went, hey, do you know any tiering servers I could join? He went, yeah, and sent me over to R8. I cannot stress enough how important this server was to my tiering experience. Without R8, I would not have gotten top 100 at all. It allowed me to spam Hitoriumbo Envy over and over with people doing the same. That's what can make Ebi an actually efficient tiering song, when you can be guaranteed continuously spamming it. Otherwise, it's just not as good. Honestly, with all of the ignorance I had already displayed up to this point, I'm surprised that I even knew tiering servers existed. I think I'd heard someone offhandedly mention it before, and thought that I'd try my hand at tiering with one. I got my Rui and Tsukasa both up to max level, getting both to Mastery Rank 5, making paintings of them in my Sekai, and skipping over their side stories for the time being, all to raise their power. Thank goodness for all the Rui dupes now that I think about it. I could not have gotten them to Mastery Rank 5 if I didn't get those on top of the wish jewels I had already saved. In the meantime, Highflow was trying to explain to me how R8 works. I finally understood it about 5 minutes before the event started and managed to get into a room. I decided to go with Hitoriumbo Envy because that is the tiering song from what I had heard. We played for a while and I was on fire. I got multiple APs, I was feeling great, and this was gonna be a breeze. But was it? I noticed that I was getting the least points per show out of everyone on my team. Why? I thought. I have a Mastery Rank 5 Rui and Tsukasa. Surely I should be in the top 100 already. And yet these people that were getting more points than me were complaining about not being in the top 100 themselves. And while I didn't know how to check at the time, when I eventually left the room, I was only in 129th place. Looking at the in-game leaderboard, I saw almost everyone had Mastery Rank 5 Rui. While I thought that I'd be getting an advantage, it turns out that I was actually merely the standard for top 100. This was gonna be a long run. I decided that I needed Nene right then and there, so I spent more crystals and immediately regretted sparking for Tsukasa. I got Tsukasa twice, then another Rui or two, and then the Kaito from the set somewhere around 300 pulls. I ran out of crystals and started grinding songs until I got one last 10 pull, and then it finally came home. It took 375 pulls to get Nene. Though the pulling process was very painful, it did give me a lot of dupes, so I was able to get enough crystals to get Nene up to Mastery Rank 5 as well, and get my Kaito and Enna from the banner both up to Mastery Rank 2. Now, setting out with my new and improved team, I grinded the rest of the night till 3 a.m. I got to about 5.5 million points, ending the night off at 105th place. As I started falling down the leaderboard, my friend Walmart began to catch up to me before ultimately surpassing me. For now, at least. I went to bed around 6 a.m. that night, or day. Oh well. The next day, I woke up at 1 p.m. If you couldn't tell, I still hadn't realized how serious tiering for top 100 in this event was going to be. I had dropped down from 105th to 161st. Jump scared by this, I got to work tiering with my new team. I got to 101st, then 95th, and finally 89th. Though I forgot to say this in the script, I did end up switching my team after analyzing the leaderboards a little bit more, because I realized, honestly, I should probably be using an Emu with the same attribute as my team instead of the Enna. Even though the Enna gave more event points, the Emu ultimately seemed like the better choice for me, but I didn't have enough crystals or enough wish jewels to get Emu up to any higher than Mastery Rank 1, so I was playing with the Mastery Rank 1 Emu in my team for the whole event. I didn't play around today, tiering from 1 p.m. to 5 a.m. I also farmed my way back up to around 15k crystals in this time. I don't really remember how. I think Walmart and I were messing around on VC and they gave me some tips or something. While I was still able to rely on just bonus energy cans alone this day, they were starting to dwindle already. I thought that I'd surely be prepared for this event with all my energy, but no. I sadly don't have the exact amount of energy items that I had recorded, but from what I can remember, I started the event out with 175 large cans, 140 small cans, 58 burgers, 78 popcorns, 39 leeks, and 7 or so miscellaneous food items. These would all help me get more bonus energy, of course, but not enough to maintain the points I'd need to stay in the top 100 for 7 days. I went to bed at 5 a.m. that day with about 16.5 million points in 89th. On day 3, I woke up at 8 a.m. My rank had dropped to 102nd. I had learned my lesson from the previous day not to sleep in, and I wasn't going to make the same mistake. However, while I didn't make that mistake this day, I was making a lot of mistakes when playing Ebby. It's T100 Envy, but you'll hear me refer to that song as Ebby from now on. My accuracy was in the trash after only getting 3 hours of sleep, and I was feeling it a little bit. By the later half of the day, I was just really trying to convince myself that I wasn't tired. This was the day that I learned there's a separate website for tracking the top 100 thanks to Walmart, so I felt a bit more assured that I could at least know where I was throughout the day. I also met another very lovely person that helps me on this day. I would say their name, but I don't know if they don't want me to associate them, so I was on my very last bit of energy items when the person helped me out, and I won't say how, but they were able to get me 25 large cans worth of energy. So even if I was going to run out of energy items the next day, this one act of kindness did help to encourage my tired mind even further. The doubt that had already started seeping in after I realized how hard I'd worked the past couple of days, and I was really super tired. I mean, it was looking like I would have to tier about 16 hours every day, and that evaluation was not wrong. Sitting in the same place playing the same song over and over again for 16 hours every day was really draining. It was. Yet I persevered. I ended up at 79th with 28 million points and farmed up to 21k crystals by the end of the day. I went to bed at 3 a.m. Day 4 is when I started properly taking notes, so I have many more little details that I can recall from the days going forward. I completely overslept this day, waking up at 12 p.m. in 98th place. I was worried sick, and when I say that, it's not a complete exaggeration. My stomach hurt just thinking about the risk of dropping out of top 100. I didn't know what I was getting myself into at first, but this was the day where I knew I'd have to keep up the pace I was at regardless of how demanding it might be. I was going to get top 100. There was a whole 1.5 million gap between me and the next place up, so I had to get on that grind quickly. I spent the majority of the day struggling in the 90s range before having a breakthrough later in the night, managing to get up to tier 80 with 39.5 million points. This day was the halfway mark, and I was honestly feeling quite discouraged, forgetting the reason I even started this run in the first place. To be honest, I started because I didn't even know that this would be so demanding. I mean, I had planned out my week so I could fully dedicate it to tiering, but I didn't know that I actually need to be this dedicated. However, both of my parents were gone basically the entire day due to the fact that my father was getting surgery and my mother needed to take care of him. Since they were at the hospital all day, every day of the event anyway, it's not like there was something much better I had to do. I just wanted all of it to be over. Waking up early every day just to play this stupid game for 16 hours basically straight over and over was really taking a toll on me by this point. And when I say basically straight, I mean it. The only break I gave myself during the days was to eat lunch, which I allowed myself 7 auto shows worth of time to do. Keep in mind I only got 10 auto shows every day to work with. On this day I believe that I actually used up a few more so I could take a shower. The last 3 auto shows were typically for when I stopped for the day, but I wanted to stretch out more before going to bed so I wasn't in a ton of pain because oh my gosh, my back. Tiering hurt my back so much. Luckily, as of when I'm writing this, the 15th, my back isn't in nearly as much pain as it was. Anyway, I spent the last few hours of the day grinding back up to 18 crystals now, as I had to start using crystals this day. On day 5, I really started noticing that it was getting hard for me to get up and have motivation to start the cycle all over again. I did it, but it was really starting to get painful. Just 2 days left, I kept telling myself, and so I went further. Nothing was going to stop me no matter what. I could take on any challenge. I mean, I did, so I wasn't wrong. I woke up at 11:30 a.m. this day and was too tired to even call it oversleeping at this point. I had dropped down to 92nd. I was honestly too lax this day. I was slacking off for sure. I did have a fun encounter this day though. Someone in my room, Ace, was playing the game with, I kid you not, vegetables. Tiering with vegetables, yes. It was a legendary experience. This day also had its own struggles for me though, both physically and mentally. For the physical part, I had tried to eat an actual full meal this day and realized I just couldn't. That scared me a little bit. I couldn't even get halfway through the meal before feeling full. I hadn't been eating nearly enough, that much was clear. As for the mental struggle, I happened to remember a video that I had watched years ago from It's Jolted, a YouTuber I'm sure many of you know. It was her tiering experience on the event Close Game Offline, I believe. That video was the first to introduce me to what tiering even was back then, and I remembered thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm never gonna do something like that. And yet here I was. What the real struggle was is that looking at her video, she was able to get top 50 on that event with about 45 million points. I went to go check my points and I saw they were at 46 million. I had surpassed what I once thought was impossible for me to ever do, and it was only day 5. It gave me an indescribable feeling when I realized that, both good and bad, I don't know. But we continue the push. I got to 51 million points, 82nd, and went to bed at 6 a.m. I was down to only 8k crystals. On day 6, I woke up at 12 p.m. down at 89th. I honestly expected it at this point. I was so tired, I just wanted this to end. But alas, I kept pushing forward. The next day would be my last. Of the events or my life, I really couldn't tell. Tiering with people while actually having conversations between games made this experience so much more bearable though. And yeah, I made a lot of new friends from it, so I really do appreciate all of you guys. If you're watching this, know that you helped keep me sane. And other friends too, like when I'd go into VC to chat while playing, and everyone I could talk to in between or during games helped make it so much more bearable. I could even say that I was actually like having fun at some points. And since they asked for a shout out, I guess I can give that shout out to Rui5 Labubu 67 person. Sorry that you didn't make it to top 100, but you did do really well, and it was fun playing with you. Even if you tried to brainwash me into the 6-7 cult, not falling for it. Oh, and something else that was so cool happened this day. A runner from the top 10 ended up having to join my room. I mean, it was honestly pretty interesting getting to see how people at the top of the leaderboard were tiering. Usually they have private servers with people dedicated to helping them tier at all times, I believe. But something must have gone wrong for this person for them to have to resort to this server. Honestly, I had no idea how people at the top even do that. But from what I could tell, they don't pay the people helping them. Yes, I genuinely thought that was how it worked. And yeah, they have private servers to help them. Apparently this Jeremy person ended up tiering for 36 hours straight when the event started. That's some crazy dedication. But I suppose it's necessary to get up there. Another crazy thing is that I happened to recognize someone in the server from when I used to play Genshin with them years ago. That was a big surprise. And another thing I realized this day is that while tiering is an experience that you share with others, you're also kind of against them at the same time. I mean, I remember I had this whole little chase with one person because they were a few spots behind me and gaining more points per show than me, so every time we played they kept gaining on me until they eventually passed, or killed as I put, me. I only actually got to 60 million points this day because I thought I'd be fine for the next day, and I wanted to prioritize getting more crystals instead. So I ended off on 82nd and crystal grinded until 3:30 a.m. Finally, it was the last day, day 7. I woke up at 11 a.m. and had dropped down to 97th. I was only 60k points above top 100 and extremely scared, so I hopped on Project Sekai right away. I had been using 5 energy per show basically the entire event, but I decided that this day I needed to bump it up to 7 energy per show. I had been so confident on day 6 that I was thinking stuff like, oh, I don't want to use a ton of energy because I still want some crystals left over. No, I didn't get that choice. I'd have to spend everything I had or else. I also started feeling like I may honestly miss tiering, oddly enough. Not the stress or pain of it, of course, but the experience of meeting so many new, cool people. And oh my gosh, I was a complete mess on this last day. I had it in my head that I needed 88th place, because of Tsukasa, of course, or whatever. And so I threw a ton of games using 0 energy per show, just so people could pass me. And I still overshot it by accident. I'm really annoyed with myself because I could have gotten an even higher place, way higher, but I was just dead set on this 88th place thing, so the last 3 hours of the event were wasted by me. I was still playing all 3 hours, but I was just trying to stay in 88th by not getting too many points to pass it, but also enough to maintain it. It was really stupid. I was just really stupid that day. I kept breaking down crying throughout the whole night, honestly. I just couldn't stop. I don't know why. It was pretty embarrassing, actually. I tried to get on BC 3 separate times and then kept having to leave because I just couldn't say more than a few words before crying again. I don't know what I was on. Maybe I was just really tired and emotional and all that. I mean, there was a lot going on. My father had just returned from the hospital that night. I wanted to park with a special number last minute. I wanted to get 88 too. It was just a lot. Too much for me at once to handle. And yet, my number came out to be iconic anyway. 72,333,846 points. That's a pretty cool number. I wrapped up my night by crying more, taking a shower, and watching the after show for the event. I went to bed at 3:30 a.m. that night, having finally achieved my goal of top 100. When I say that this event basically reached Mizu 5 levels of competitive, I mean it. Mizu 5's tier 100 cutoff was 73 million. This event's tier 100 cutoff was over 69 million points, I believe. That's pretty close, I'd say. With some of the scary looking charts that people were sending, this event may have even surpassed NF5 if it had gone on as long as NF5 did. NF5 went on for 9 days, this event went on for 7. What's crazy for me to think about is that I very well could have gotten top 100 on Mizu 5. Because, once again, if I had actually been playing at max potential the last 3 hours, I would have definitely surpassed 73 million, but I was just being an idiot. Totaling my hours up, I played the game for roughly 107 hours during the 7-day period of this event. Even if you want to subtract the time I was doing auto shows from the total, keep in mind that I only had 10 per day, and I didn't even really use any on the last day. It would still be at least 100 hours of me playing the game during this event. It really was a wild ride, and I can't believe that I actually made it so far, but I did. And this just goes to show that I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. I kept saying, never again, I'm never doing this again during the event, but honestly, now that I've done this event, I want to do another. And Casa 7 is looking like my next target. I hope that I'll have enough saved energy by then to tier that as well. And as for energy, I spent about 9,000 energy in total, I believe. Though I think it's even more, considering I didn't factor in the 10 energy you get every time you level up and such. And also, it's not a very accurate calculation. I played about 2,000 shows during the event, something like that. And yeah, I tiered about 16 hours every day. My back, oh my gosh. Anyway, I suppose that's all. My tips for tiering from this experience, not that I am very experienced, are that you should definitely join a tiering server like R8, which I will link in the description if I can, if you want to get a top spot. Also make sure to have a ton of energy available, and maybe don't be like me and go into this with no plan, and actually plan out your energy usage and stuff. Having to farm crystals for hours every day on top of tiering for hours every day was not ideal at all. My whole schedule was not ideal. It was wake up, tier for 8 hours, and maybe eat for like 20 to 30 minutes, tier for another 6 hours, grind crystals for 2 hours, and then sleep. It was really just like a mess. Don't be like me. Be prepared and have willpower. That's what you need most while tiering. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. And please join my Discord server if you'd like to hang out more. Link in the description. And, Rui5 canon. Ironically, why this video took so long to get out is actually because of Persona 5 Royal. Because I decided to beat the entire game before finishing the video. And then I got obsessed with Shuake and, Yaoi. I love Akechi a lot. Marry me, Akechi. But, anyway, so that's why it took so long to get out. I guess this entire run was kind of just, Persona 5 was the thing that possibly could have ended it, because I didn't feel like, halting my progress in the game for tiering. So it could have been the thing to completely invalidate the entire run, and it could have been the thing to, or it was the thing to delay progress on the video. So anyway, I finished it now, and yeah, Goro Akechi, marry me.